Greetings and welcome to Tech Tuesday presented by Delta Media Group, where we found an answer to the age-old question, how many programmers does it take to change a light bulb? It turns out none. It's a hardware problem. So today we're going to take a look at team site functionality. We've looked at this a bit in the past, but we're just going to kind of do an overview to give you just a general idea of the kinds of things that are available to you as a team leader, or in some cases as a team member. And we'll kind of get into those pieces as we go. But primarily we'll be looking at this from a team leader's point of view. So if you are set as a team leader and you log into the DeltaNet, you will have an additional option up here under your name. We'll click on that says Switch to Team Site. So what that does is it effectively authenticates us as the team. So basically we're looking at the team account as if we had logged in directly to the team account. And then if I ever want to switch back, I can just click on my name and click Switch to Your Profile, and that'll switch me back into my own site. So the significance of this is that when I'm authenticated as the team account, all of the changes that I make here are affecting that account. So if I change the name here, I'm changing the name of the team. If I change the email address, it's the team's email, not my own personal email that I'm changing. If I look at leads in here, or I change the website or add website pages, those are all things that affect the team site and the team leads, and not my individual stuff. So that's kind of the thing to take away there. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at some of the special functionality that is available to us because this is a team account. So first and foremost, for all of the featured listing displays, now this would be featured listings that show up on the home page if you have those set up, or if you have like a My Listings page set up or an Our Listings page set up on the site, the system has to know not just what listings belong to the team, but what listings belong to any of the team members is the general idea there. So the way it knows that, if we scroll down here, we'll see that there is an MLS IDs section, and you can see that all of the team member MLS IDs are automatically pulled in and included in this section. So what that's doing is it's allowing the system to know that all of the listings that belong to any of these IDs belong to this account in a way that they should be displayed as Our Listings or featured listings on the website, depending on what your featured listing settings are set to do. So really the key takeaway there is, for the system to know which listings belong to the team, you don't have to go through here and add in MLS IDs for all of your team members. The system already knows that, so it can take that into account when it shows any of those things. So that's item number one. So as we scroll down the list here, the next thing we have is lead delegation. So lead delegation is available depending on your team settings, not just to the team leader, so not just as a matter of being able to delegate a lead from the team account to a team member, but also team members can delegate these leads between each other. Now what that means is I'm basically reassigning the lead to a team member. So let's say a lead comes in on the team website, and so it's assigned to the team itself. I can then take that lead and I can assign it to a team member to work on that lead. But because I have delegated it instead of assigning it, I can always pull it back to the team later on if I did want to for any reason. So if, for example, I delegate leads out and I have a team member that's working those leads and that person leaves the team, I can pull those leads back later on if I want to. So that's kind of the significance of delegation. So the way you can get a look at that, now there are a few different ways that you can access the delegation functionality for a lead to delegate it out, but we're just kind of taking a look at the overview here. So we'll go over to CRM and down to Customer List. Now if you don't have that option in your menu there, you may just be able to type it up here. As I said, the side navigation can be different depending on what company you're with, as that can be customized. So if you type Customer List up here at the top, that should bring you up an option that'll take you to this page as well, generally. So we'll type customer here, Customer List. And there we go, and that would take me to my Customer List page also. So once I'm on this page, you have all the functionality on Customer List, just like you do on your personal side. So you have all these filters up here you can use to narrow down the list. You can open these up in bulk, and ultimately you can next through them if you're going to contact each one, or you can perform group actions on them, things like that. But what we're going to look at this time is you'll see that there is an icon here that looks like a little two hands holding onto each other. So a handshake, we'll go with that. That is not filled in. So because that's not filled in, what that means is that this is a lead that was delegated out to someone else. And we can confirm this by adding a column here to see what lead each one is assigned, or to see who each of these leads is assigned to. So to do that, I'll click on columns up here, and I'll type in assigned We have an assigned agent option, so we'll add that. And there we go. So you can see that I can see these leads because they actually belong to the team account, and I'm effectively authenticated as the team account. But under assigned agent, they show someone different. So this is actually the account I logged into. But if we scroll down, there's some other ones too. So here's the Test Jones account. So we've got a lot of test accounts in here. But this would be another agent account in here. So we can see we've got our hand icon, so that means that this lead belongs to this account, but it's been delegated to this Test Jones account that it's assigned to. Now to give you an idea what that would look like for the person that it is delegated to, we have, we'll just take a look at this lead specifically. So this is delegated to the Harley Demo 2 account, which is the account I logged into originally. So we'll just go back up here, and I'll click on Switch Back to My Profile, and I'll go to my own customer list. And there's that lead, and you can see that it is a filled-in handshake now, which indicates instead of this being a lead that belongs to me that I delegated to someone else, this is a lead that belongs to someone else, or in this case the team site, that was then delegated to me. So that's how that's visible to the person who is actually the recipient of a delegated lead, and not just the team account that did the delegating. So let's switch back over to the team account, and we'll go back into customer list here. There we are. So now this is a delegated lead. So let's say that the account that it's delegated to did leave the team, and I want to pull this back. I can click on this icon over here, our actions icon, and click on delegate. That opens up our delegate interface here. And from here, I can check this reclaim box and hit update, and that will actually pull the lead back to me. Now once the lead has been pulled back to me, and I can determine whether or not it will send notification emails whenever I make an action in here. So if I delegate it to someone or take it away from someone and I don't want it to send those notice emails, a good example of that would be if I'm delegating a lead from the team to myself, then I might not want to send the notice email because I know that I'm doing it. So I don't need another notification telling me that. But once I've pulled this lead back, I can use this drop down to assign it to other people. Now you can see everyone's grayed out here right now, and that is because this lead doesn't belong to me, so it can't be redelegated. So I would have to reclaim it, and then I would be able to delegate it out to someone else. Now also, if I had reclaimed it, I could click this broadcast button to essentially send a broadcast notice to all the team members at once. So that just allows whoever goes in there and picks it up first or accepts the broadcast first is the one who gets that lead delegated to them, as opposed to me picking someone specific to delegate it to. So that, in a nutshell, is how lead delegation works. So you can pull these back. The whole idea is that I can assign these out to team members to work them, or as a team member, I could even assign it to the team or to another team member to work that lead. But then I still retain ownership of that, so I can pull it back later on if I want to. Now the next thing you have accessible as part of a team account are some special pages. So we'll go down here to Website, and then down to Pages. And there are two types of pages that are available to a team account that are not available to other accounts. So we'll just click on New Page, and then we'll click on our Predefined tab here. And now using our predefined page drop-down, we can go down here and we'll find a couple of pages that are not available to a standard user account that are only available to team accounts. The first is the Team Reviews page. So I can just select that page, and then like adding any other predefined page, I would fill in my link title, which is how it'll appear in the navigation if I do want to include it in the navigation, which I would do with these checkboxes here. I can give it a page title that'll appear up in the top browser tab. It'll also appear in search results, so if this page does come up in search results, that's what'll show up. And then I can add in meta description and meta keywords also, and you can click here for details on either of these two things. But essentially, meta description is used to help rank this page, used by search engines to help rank the page, and it's just meant to be a human-readable description of the content on the page. So kind of the rule of thumb there is that if you go in and you fill in these meta descriptions, just make a human-readable description of the page. Don't try to stuff keywords in there or try to hit certain points or write it in a certain way. As long as you make a good, readable description of the page, the rest kind of takes care of itself there. And then meta keywords, this is where you would drop in all those keywords and separate those by commas. Search engines don't really use this much anymore, though. So you can fill it in as kind of a best practice. It won't hurt anything, but it's also not really necessary. Now the next thing you can do, as with any other page, is you can select a campaign down here if you have any campaigns. And what this will do is if a customer is logged into their portfolio account on your website, so they've already created an account, this is an existing customer, and then they visit this page, they can automatically be added to one of these campaigns. So just kind of a convenient way, if you make a purpose-driven page, that you can add somebody to a campaign that will send them messaging that kind of matches the page they visited. So just kind of a neat extra feature there that's available on all custom pages. So team reviews is the first page. Now what this does is it just shows in kind of aggregated display of all of the reviews attached to all team members. So this isn't like the reviews page on a personal site where it's showing only your reviews. This will show the team's reviews, plus it will show all of the team members' reviews on this page. Now the page itself does look a little bit different depending on what template you're using, so we won't take a look at the page here. But this is how you set it up. You would just select it, fill in these other fields, hit Update Page, and then your team reviews page would be created. Then you can go in and take a look at it. Now if you do just want to take a look at it and not necessarily add it to your site until you've seen it, you would just leave these boxes unchecked. And then when you save this page, it'll put a little link up here at the top. In fact, if I go down here and click on Team Reviews, I have one of these set up already. So you can see it gives you the page URL, even though it's not actually on the website navigation anywhere. So no one will know where to find it. That way you can just click on this link and take a look at it, and then if you like it, you can go down here and add it to your navigation. So that's the first page type. Now the second page type you can add, and we'll go back to new page. You add it in exactly the same way. So new page, select predefined, and then go down here and select team roster. So your team roster page is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a roster page that displays all of the team members. Everything else on this page is set up in exactly the same way, and again, if you wanted to just get a look at it without adding it to your navigation, you would do so in the same way. Just select it, fill all this out, and don't select either of these options, and then after you've seen it, you can go back and you can select navigation menu, for example, and that would add it into your navigation menu, and then you could actually have a link on your site that leads to this page. So that way you can get a look at it ahead of time. But it is exactly what it sounds like. It just shows all the members of the team, and depending on your team's settings, it might break out the team leaders and team members differently. So there is a team setting available to admins, so you'd have to contact your admin if you want to change it, but that setting determines whether the team leaders and team members are displayed separately, or they're displayed just kind of right next to each other in the same section. So there you go. Those are the custom team site pages, or the special pages, we'll say, related to team sites. Now, the next thing we'll take a look at are the team settings. So you'll see under website, we have an additional option here that says Manage Team. So if I click on that, there we go, that takes us to our Manage Team page. From here, we can control, first off, we can see our team members and team leaders. So this is everybody that is on the team. And then from here, we can use these to change the display order of all the team members and team leaders here. So if I wanted this account to display first on that roster page in the team leader section, if they are broken into different sections, I can just click that arrow. That moves that account up. And then that'll show that account first when it comes to listing everyone out on that team roster page. Now the next thing I can do here is I have a team settings button. So if I click on that button, you can see that I can modify my team name. I have a few settings here that I can affect, and I'll run through each of those. And then I would just make whatever changes I'd like and click Save, and that updates those settings for the team. Now the first setting I have here is, this is designed to help handle new leads that come from the team site. So when a new customer, or when a customer comes to the team site and they make a request or they sign up for an account, the system will check to see if that customer already has an account assigned to any of the team members. If it does, then it will follow this setting to figure out what to do. So it'll either pick the agent that they worked with originally, so whoever that account, whichever account was created first, basically, or it will look at the customer that they have the most recent activity with. So if they were working with a team member previously, like working with them directly, and they just had some recent activity, and then they make a request on the team site for the first time, let's say they always went through that agent's website directly, or that agent put them in manually, but now they're going to the team site and actually making an account for the first time, this says that they should work with that agent that, or rather that request will go to the agent that most recently had activity with that customer. So this allows you to choose that setting there. Now the next thing you can do here is, This all depends on how exactly you want to manage leads on your team. So every team wants to do things a little bit differently here. But what this allows you to do is determine if it's going to use the team photo and the team name in emails that are sent out on behalf of team members. So let's say, for example, a customer did come in and their request was assigned to the last agent they worked with because they already had an account assigned to a team member. And let's say they're set up for a saved search, for example. So when they get emails from the agent they're assigned to, with these boxes checked, that means that it will show the team photo and team name in those emails in addition to the agent's name and photo. So it just includes that team branding on those emails. Now the next thing we have here is an option that allows you to hide the team member phone numbers on the team site. So with this checked, it's basically just showing whatever phone numbers you have attached to the team account. But if you have this unchecked, then depending on what template you're using, the various pages on the team site will also show the team member names and phone numbers, not just the team account names and phone numbers, which allows customers to go to the team site and find contact information for the team members directly and then contact them directly if they want to. So that's how you can control these settings. Come in here, make a change, and just hit save, and that will save your settings. Now, the last piece of functionality you have here will depend on whether or not this is switched on when the team account was created or switched on the admin side. So if you did want to change it, you would have to contact your admin to change it. But if authentication is turned on for the team, which it is by default, then that means that a team leader can go to this page and they can use this icon to authenticate as any of the team members. So one thing of note here is that we're on the personal side of the DeltaNet, so we have this blue bar up here. So if I wanted to authenticate as this team member, I can click on this icon, and you can see that they haven't checked their automation report recently. But you can also see that this bar up here turns purple. And what that's doing is indicating to me that I have authenticated as one of the team members. So it just makes it obvious to me so that I don't kind of lose track of where I am. Now that I have authenticated as the team member, it's just like authenticating as the team. I am looking at their personal side. So here I can make changes to the leads or the website if they do have a website separate from the team site.